forward to seeing if they can deliver this round of talks. But now, let me talk to my guests now, and I'm joining the gentlemen on the table as we wait for Member of Parliament from Gatundu South to come. Gentlemen, good to see you this evening.
Thank you.
Let's begin the discussion tonight with the latest. Now, they have convened these talks, and this is the first day. And did it surprise you? Let me begin with Javas. Did it surprise you, the kind of sobriety and civility that existed at Bomas today? Did it surprise you, or you knew it was all coming?
Well, I was not so much surprised, because I've always held the view that we have got some of the best qualities amongst our leaders. If they choose to be sober and idealistic and progressive, they will always be. In fact, I'm always surprised when we are exposed to the primitive appetites and the push and pull that is, I could say, not really the kind of caliber of leadership that is anticipated of certain members, especially when remarks are made that are insightful, etc. We have got good leaders when they choose to be sober.
Okay.
We have got educated, exposed leaders. In fact, when you look at the quality of leadership, the quality of policies that we make in this country, it tells you that we have got some of the finest.
Okay.
Question arises always, how come some other times they depart from sobriety and venture into the dirty waters of the murky politics, of primitive appetites, etc.
Okay.
So I was not surprised.
You're
I was
not
impressed.
Surprised. Okay, Fire Mambo, and I'd like to say that's actually your name on your national ID.
Fanya Mambo.
Fanya Mambo Kinuthia.
Yes,
all right, were you surprised as someone who sits in the side or on the sidelines of the kind of civility that existed at Bomas today? I mean, I saw Kimani Ichung'wah, my friend, speaking, and I'm like, this is the difference between these two gentlemen, the one at Bomas and the one on the campaign trail.
First and foremost, I was surprised, because these are some of the same politicians who had gone on tracks and gone around Murang'a and parts of Mount Kenya saying that we should even cancel that conversation. It should not happen, that dialogue should not happen. So I'm thoroughly surprised when the same people come at Bomas of Kenya and they are composed and they are speaking a language that appears unifying for the nation, and they are speaking in a way that seems to show that they have a lot of civility within themselves. Mm-hmm. So I was surprised, and many Kenyans were surprised, because you see, to the ordinary mwananchi, the followers of these politicians, when those politicians come on those Land Cruisers and shout and say, hata hiyo labda hiyo kuongea hatutafanya, those people take it very seriously. So when they see the same politician wearing a different tie, a different conversation, and a different suit, and saying something different from what they said on the streets, then the mwananchi is like, what happened to our politician who really charged us at Githurai roundabout and said we are not going to have those conversations happening? So we are surprised. For me as a person, I am confused. I'm actually perplexed at what is happening to this chameleon that today it's saying this and tomorrow it's saying this. But I'll tell you, they knew that today was agenda setting, and they knew that today they were not going to go into the details of the conversation. So today there will be decorum, because also, sometimes we are not sure of whether there's a budgetary allocation to this. And if there be, then you don't want to scatter a process that will bring some mileage in the process of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do we judge you? You're the only politician before the other politician comes on the round table. Are these gentlemen, including me, judging you harshly? Because we have seen even the kind of rejection from your side as email to these talks. Are we judging you harshly as politician?
No, what my brother Fanya Mambo is forgetting is that politicians are Kenyans. And when there are matters affecting Kenya as a nation, it is easy for us to converge. We fight outside, but you see the relationship I have with Ichung'wah and others in Parliament, you will be shocked. You can be sure there is a reason as to why I delayed the program a bit. We were laughing together, away from what Kenyans believe should be the relationship between Kaluma and the other members, the other side. Mm-hmm. And if I told you the people we were, enjoying the after parliamentary session period with, you'd be shocked. So the thing is that there are issues we need to discuss as Kenyans. And it is now clear that one side of, government cannot, continue without listening to the other.
But you're forcing them to the table. I'll talk about that.
I'm not surprised.
You've really forced the government side to the table with this, but I want to ask, gentlemen, from what we are watching on television and what we are reporting, is there trust deficiency in this country? Because even from what Java says and Fanya Mambo says and what Kaluma tends to differ with, you know, when he says to us that Uko, you will be surprised, we don't know.
No, they know.
We don't. We don't. So is there trust deficit even when these things are being built?
Well, we do not have organic trust in the political space. But the fractured society that we perpetually have and face, it is because of our political sociology. We are politically socialized in such a manner that to be civil does not seem to make you a great politician. That the greatness of a politician is perceived to be on how volatile or radical you can be, how radioactive you are, especially when you grab the mic. And that kind of political sociology does not make a better society or better leadership. In fact, when it comes to orienting younger leaders, then they tend to think that that kind of radicalization or radioactive nature of politics is then what makes you a greater student leader or a greater MCA or a greater parliamentarian or even governor. But you see, look at it this way. When you look at somebody who has been a senator and then they move to be governor, the moment they occupy the executive, something tends to change a bit. So it tells you that some other times we have imagined that being a member of parliament, a parliamentarian, then to be vocal and appreciated and noted, then you must be thoroughly radioactive. And that people then will not eject you from that seat in parliament. But I think when it comes to trust, politicians trust themselves when they converge at a table of self-interest. And that is why they trust the vote from the other when it comes to matters, salaries, etc.
Is this such a table?
Well, I think it is.
Okay.
I think it is to a certain extent. One, we know very well that today the side of Kenya Kwanza, while it has got the mandate to govern and to lead the people through the social contract that was granted to them after the election last year, there is the challenge about leading in a quiet, progressive space. That quiet, progressive space has been denied by the politics of the opposition, and the Honorable Kaluma is here.
Okay.
And that's why he's saying that the side of government must listen to the other. But I think it's a question of Kenyans listening to each other and moving forward together.
Okay. You agree?
You see, Ken, there is a difference between political competition, which is the game of the political space. You don't expect us to sing lullabies when we meet with Ichungwa or Ndindi Nyoro in the political space. What we are dealing with now is leadership, not politics.
Okay.
Yeah, and that is where we are. If you see the body language of Ichungwa and others on the table of leadership, it will naturally differ from the body language of Ichungwa. In the space, if you were with the president, wherever the president was today, you'd have seen a different one. So our people must draw a line between politician as a politician and politician as a leader.
Okay.
What is happening at Bomas is about leadership. Okay. Where is the nation? Are there issues that require all of us, to have a meeting of mind around? And we'll converge on that.
We're taking a break, but I have to give you an opportunity. That trust deficit, and I listen to him, and sometimes I think they are hoodwinking Kenyans. They are not actually fooling Kenyans. That there's a real fight here, yet there's none.
Trust deficit is very interesting in this country in the sense that first is that Kenyans do not trust parliamentarians. You remember there was a story about 10,000 changing hands in some very funny place within parliament. And there is a story of people queuing and voting and saying we are voting for politician A on party A, for example, Jubilee. And we know Jubilee is a dove and there was a wheelbarrow on the ballot. But immediately that politician gets to parliament without even coming back to consult those people who queued and conscientiously ignored the wheelbarrow and voted for the dove. These people immediately move and start working with the wheelbarrow. Whereas if a politician or someone who would have been trusted, they should have had the character of going back and saying, wait a minute, I was elected on a Jubilee ticket. I was elected and these people saw that Jubilee is red, it's a dove. And the wheelbarrow was yellow or green or something of that kind. And these people queued and conscientiously voted for this person on this ticket. But this person cannot be trusted because the following morning, they are singing the tune of the party that the people who queued had rejected because it was on the ballot. So trust is a big issue that politicians need to build, and they need to be seen to always refer to the people who gave them mandate before they make some of the decisions that they purport to make on behalf of the people who voted for them.
A great place to take a break, gentlemen. I have to take a break. I have to take a break.
Yeah, but you'll be back to me to rebut.
Okay. When we come back, Airtel, Britam Inclusivity Solution join